United finally snapped out of their losing run and put some smiles on red and white faces on Good Friday. Let's see if we can keep that good feeling going and start building our momentum. But most importantly, let's see if we can delay Burnley's promotion party on Easter Monday. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole. Yes, welcome everybody to the Sheff United Way, where today we are looking ahead to Burnley versus Sheffield United, a 5:30 p.m. kickoff at Turf Moor on Easter Monday. Now, it was a decent performance and a very welcomed victory against Cardiff at Bramall Lane on Good Friday. Particularly the clean sheet, I thought, was really important for the club. After some defensive mistakes have started creeping in, to see two big lads up front and us stand up to that threat and be able to keep the ball out of our net, that felt really important. However, due to victories for both Burnley and Leeds, we're now in a difficult spot. A defeat at Turf Moor on Monday will officially end Sheffield United's automatic promotion hopes, and it will mean that we are going into the playoffs. However, despite all of that, even if it is the playoffs, what United need more than anything else right now is some good feeling and some positive vibes. And if we are going into that post-season shootout, then a victory here against, if we could become the first team to beat Burnley at Turf Moor, if we can be the first team to break down this insane performance level that Burnley have had since their last defeat in November. It's been a long time. If we can do that, it really does start to generate some unbelievable momentum and some fantastic vibes for the club in terms of how we can go ahead and attack the playoffs. Good feelings at the time we need it most. That's what we're building towards. That's what these next 3 games mean. And that's why it's so important we turn up and put in a decent performance on Monday. Now, before we go any further, let's give a huge thank you to our video sponsors, Panenka Bar and Grill. Now, Panenka is a stunning premium bar which is set over 2 floors. They've got 2 bars, a separate restaurant space, and luxury VIP boxes for anybody who wants an extra special experience for just them and their close friends. It truly is what I would call Sheffield's ultimate social experience. It is also the Sheff United's Way's designated pre- and post-match bar. And for games like this one on Monday, it will be on all of the screens that you can see in Panenka. So it's a fantastic place to get together with your friends, have a drink, and watch this game. Please do go and check out Panenka. You'll find it at the entrance to New Era Square, just 5 minutes walk away from Bramall Lane. Now, as we were discussing there, the playoffs, they're the words that strike fear. They strike fear into the hearts of all Sheffield United fans. They have been a historic source of disappointment, of suffering, of pain. But come on. This is what we've got to focus on. And I've been as guilty of it as anybody. But let's get this right. We are one of the best 3 teams in this division. That has been proved time and time again through this season. We have still, at this point of the season, won more games of football than any other team in the Championship. We are 20 points better off than the team who are currently occupying 6th place. If we can believe and get everybody, all of our squad, to be fully fit, if we can generate momentum through these next 3 games, and if we can really attack the playoffs, it will be different this time. We are perfectly placed to win the playoffs. And, everybody else that I talk to, everybody who's ever done it, they say it's the best way for a team to get promoted. So, look, if it comes to it on Monday that we don't get the result that we want, if we're sat there and we're watching Burnley's promotion party, seeing them celebrate getting back to the Premier League, let's not get downhearted. Let's not throw the sort of baby away with the bathwater. Let's get this right. Let's make sure that if they're celebrating at Turf Moor, we are the team who are going to be celebrating at Wembley. And with that in mind, the team, the way we're picking it, it's got to be about building the fitness, getting our best 11 together and really understanding what we want it to look like when we're attacking those games in the postseason. For this one, I don't think we're going to make that many changes from Friday. I think we're getting close to understanding what our best team is. Personally, I would look at a little bit of experimentation still. I still think there's some tweaks and changes that may help us get the most out of this squad and the way it's playing at the moment. So what would I go with? I'd have Michael Cooper in goal. I'd have a back 4 of Hamza Chowdhury, Anel Ahmedhodzic, Rob Holding and Harrison Burrows. I think there's an argument for Sam McCallum coming in because Burrows has looked tired. He's struggled a little bit in some recent weeks. But for this game in particular, I would keep Burrows there. I think we want to put out our strongest defence, really try and build some momentum and some understanding between that back five. In front of them, I think it'll be 𝗍𝗍𝗄. I think we do need to be careful. We need to keep an eye on him. If he starts to show any signs of picking up injuries, if his hamstrings are struggling or anything like that, I would be subbing him off almost immediately in every game between now and the end of the season to make sure that he's as fully fit as possible. But I would be starting him because we've got to get him. He's in our best team. There's no question that when 𝗍𝗍𝗄 plays, he's one of our best players, one of our most important players, and he has to be in our best team. I'd partner him with 𝗬𝗍, of course, who has more than earned that spot through the season. It's in these attacking four positions where I'd now be starting to experiment to see if we can get a little bit more out of the club, a little bit more out of these players. I think 𝗍𝗏𝗂 has been dangerous in other games he started recently. I thought he was really good against Plymouth. I thought he was dangerous again against Cardiff without having that in product. But I think he's done enough to really earn his spot down that right-hand side. But it's here that I'd be experimenting just a little bit because after his cameo at the weekend, when he came on, he went on to his preferred left wing and he actually managed to get the goal, obviously coming in through that position. I would start Ben Brereton Diaz on the left. I've moved 𝗍𝗏 into the centre because I don't think it's quite been working with either O'Hare or Brewster in recent weeks. So I'd have that three behind the striker, 𝗍𝗏𝗂, 𝗍𝗏, Brereton Diaz. And up front, just because Campbell's looked a little bit tired. I think he's been struggling for fitness. I saw him holding his back. He was hobbling around a little bit in the game against Cardiff. I might be tempted to give him a rest and go with Kiefer Moore, who did a quite nice job coming off the bench and looking quite impressive against Cardiff. So that's what I'm going with. That's where I've landed on the squad for this one on Monday. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think is most important? Is it getting fitness and getting the squad together? Or if we've got to go out, attack this game, must win it, and really start to pile the pressure on Leeds and Burnley, in the hopes that we could still just about steal that last second place? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, before we move into our opposition view, let me talk to you about another of our video sponsors, and that is Parrot Peel. Now, Parrot Peel are a virtual band, and many of their members are huge Blades fans. Please do go and check out parrotpeel.com, and they are releasing new music. They have a new album now called Pop Songs Your Mum Would Like, and to me, that is ideal. I think usually when I'm looking for music, all I want is songs that my mum would be proud of. And so it's definitely an album that is worth going and checking out. Please do go to parrotpeel.com now. So for our opposition view, we have got a really good friend of the show and a good friend of mine. I spent a lot of time with him last week filming for Sportsman Untitled, where we did a full preview of the Burnley against Sheffield United game. It's Joe from Turfcast, giving his thoughts on how this one might go and whether he's expecting a Burnley promotion party.
Yes, hello everyone, Joe 𝗍𝗏𝗂 here, Burnley fan and podcaster from the Turfcast podcast and YouTube channel, just here giving my thoughts ahead of a massive game at Turf Moor. Just here, as the lads have asked me to give a few opinions ahead of the game, but I just quickly read through the questions that were sent to me, and one of them was, thoughts on your promotion? Lads, it's not done yet. I know obviously Blades fans will be looking at it from a negative angle. It's not done yet. It looks, I'm not going to lie, we have 1 foot in the Premier League. Like it's nearly done, but it's not done. Obviously we win on Monday and it's 100% confirmed, promoted. But on the flip side of it, you guys win on Monday and you are right back in it. So I'm not even going to be dragged into giving my thoughts on the promotion because nobody's been promoted yet. In terms of looking ahead to the game, I think Burnley will change formation a little, the lineup a little bit. We have recently been starting with Hannibal in the middle. I think with you guys and your threat, and I feel like the fact that you're going to really come on to us in the first 15-20 minutes because it's like it's must win for you, or at least must not lose. In fact, no, let's forget it. It's must win. Blades need to win to stand any chance of finishing in that top 2. So I think you're going to come for us. I think in that first 15-20 minutes it's going to be all Sheffield United. You're going to step onto us and hopefully from our perspective we can hold out and we can keep it 0-0 and then we can edge our way into the game. You will hopefully tire from the high energy start. We'll be able to then step onto you and play our game a little. But I feel like you guys are going to come at us, and I feel like for that we're going to need somebody like Josh Loren, and he's not started the last couple of games. He has played a large part in our season, and he plays in these kinds of games where we're probably not going to have as much as a ball as we want, where we're going to need to do some defending. We're going to need to be resolute. We're going to need to be strong. He's the type of player that we usually bring in for these sort of games. So best goalkeeper of the league, James Trafford. He'll be number one. And then your fullbacks will be Lucas Perez and Connor Roberts, with CJ Egan-Riley and 𝗲𝗲𝗍 in the middle. Then Josh Loren, who I think comes in for Hannibal, and then Josh Cullen with Josh Brownhill. So that's spearheading that. Kind of like in a number 10, but not in a number 10. It is kind of like a number 10. And then your wide forwards will be Marcus Edwards, probably. He has looked a little bit tired recently and wasn't great against Watford, if I'm going to be honest with you. And Jadon Antoinette on the other side, with probably Zian Fleming leading the 9, who isn't a number 9, but has been playing as a number 9 so far this season. In terms of injuries, there's no new injuries. Obviously, I'm recording this before any press conferences, but with it being Easter weekend, there probably won't be a press conference, to be fair. Edwards has looked a little bit tired, as I've said, so he may get rested, but he's also a massive focal point and a real reason as to why we've been a lot better in the second half of the season, because he's offered us a different dimension, and we've changed slightly. Like, I know a lot of people like to throw the boring Burnley tag around. I would just like to take this opportunity to point out that Burnley and Sheffield United have scored the exact same amount of goals so far this season, and that's more than Sunderland. Everyone says that Sunderland is this free-flowing, great attacking team. They scored less goals than boring Burnley. But I feel like we are a lot better than what we were in the first half of the season, especially going forward, because of Marcus Edwards. And even when he doesn't play well, like he didn't against Watford, he still had a big part to play in the second goal, and he still offers us a different dimension, because he's always so high up the pitch, because he's just ready to go and to run at fullbacks, and that's just something we didn't have. Looking forward to it, a massive game, and yeah, hopefully from our perspective it's a Burnley promotion party. But yeah, if it is that way, I'm pretty confident you guys win the playoffs. I know I spoke to Ollie recently when we did some work for 𝗵𝗵𝗴, and I know he isn't feeling confident. I spoke to other Blades fans, they're not feeling confident about the playoffs, because you guys seem to have a mental block regarding the playoffs. And thinking back to the 25th of May 2009, I can understand why, and obviously other playoff campaigns as well. But genuinely, whoever of the top 3 fails and finishes third, if it is to be Blades, I think we all just win the playoffs, because we're all just so far ahead of the rest of the playoff campaign. But yeah, I would say good luck for the rest of the season, but that would be lying. But if it is you in the playoffs, if I'm not saying it is, if, good luck for the playoffs. But yeah, thanks for inviting me on the channel again, lads.
Thank you for that one, Joe. Let's hope that he's not right. Let's hope that it's not the promotion party that we all fear it could be. Now, moving into the referee, and the referee for this game is David Webb. He's taken charge of 27 games so far this season, 26 in the Championship and 1 in the League Cup. He's issued 68 yellows, which is just about average, if we're being honest, 2.6 per game, so that's roughly where you would expect the stats to be at. He's only issued 1 red card, and he's only given 1 penalty, both of which are very low compared to what you would expect. And it does start to paint a picture of a referee who doesn't want to be too involved in those big decisions that could decide a tight game of football. He has ref both United and Burnley 3 times so far this season. However, Burnley have much better results under his watch. They've won 2 and drawn 1, whereas United have an even split. 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 defeat. The last United game that he refed was Leeds at Bramall Lane. And of course, we all know how that one went in the end. Let's hope we don't do that again, eh? Fingers crossed. So we now come to our player connections. And as always, we have 4 player connections for you ahead of this game. Matt Loughton, he came through the academy at Bramall Lane and made 78 appearances for the Blades before leaving us to join Aston Villa. It was at Burnley, though, where he spent the majority of his career, playing 186 games across 8 years with the club, the majority of those obviously coming in the Premier League. It shocked me as I was looking at some of his stats to find out that Matt Loughton currently plays in the UAE. No, I didn't realise either. But he plays in the UAE 2nd Division. So if anybody wants to go and check him out, find a stream. I don't know. So moving on, and 𝗍𝗲𝗍 𝗵𝗍𝗍. Now this man is a favourite of mine when it comes to doing player connections. 1, because he's played for just so many teams across the EFL. But 2, because I love being able to reminisce about his fantastic finish at Hillsborough, which saw us win that game en route to our promotion back in 2006. He joined United in January that season from Burnley, where he had scored 18 goals in 43 and had 12 goals already in the Championship that season when he came to Bramall Lane. Now another player who played for both, another striker who played for both, and another striker who, if we're being honest, probably had a slightly better time of it at Burnley than he did in red and white. Gareth Taylor. He had 4 seasons with the Blades where he scored 27 goals in 105 games. Later down the line, he joined Burnley and he got 37 in 106. Comparable, but slightly better when he was wearing claret and blue. Now, finally, we come to a Sheffield United club legend and somebody who should always be remembered. We should always shout out these players when they come up as part of our player connections. I am, of course, talking about John Egan, a key man as Sheffield United established themselves, not just as a team who were competitive in the Championship, but as a team who were really ready to kick on and move into the Premier League. Of course, without the COVID lockdown, who knows what would have happened, but John Egan was a massive part of that squad who went on to challenge for the European places just as we moved into lockdown in 2020. He left United last summer to join Burnley, where he only made 8 appearances before leaving the club on loan in January to join Hull. John Egan, though, of course, will be back at Bramall Lane in the not-too-distant future. He will be forming part of that wider celebration that we will be having about 𝗬𝗍𝗄𝐻's career as part of the 𝗬𝗍𝗄𝐻 testimonial celebration. It'll be great to see him back. It'll be great to see that legendary team come back together for one last time. And it'll just be great to be able to celebrate the career of the ultimate Sheffield United modern-day legend, 𝗬𝗍𝗄𝐻. Now, at last, we come to our score prediction. And if you want your score prediction to be shared here as part of this video and as part of this wider Sheffield United community, then please do come and try to join us at patreon.com/SheffUnitedWay. It's a fantastic way to join our Sheffield United Way community, to be part of a massive WhatsApp group with Blades who are all talking about the games, all talking about what could happen, and making plans for what we might do when and if we end up in the playoffs. Now, what do our Patreon members think the score will be in this one? Well, it's more positive than maybe you would suggest. Steve B thinks that it'll be a 1-0 victory to United, albeit Steve himself described that as stupidly optimistic. That was then followed up by James Cheetham, and I don't know if James Cheetham's lost his mind or what. James Cheetham thinks that this game finishes 3-0. He predicted it would finish 3-0 to United, and 30 seconds later predicted it would finish 3-0 to Burnley. So don't know quite what he's confident in, but he knows it's going to be 3-0. Maybe he is a mystic Meg. He just can't quite see all of the details that's coming in front of him. Paul Dugan agreed with Steve. He also thinks it'll be 1-0 to the Blades, as does Ant and MVB. Lots of confidence there that United could edge this one, edge another tight game on the road. There were a few people who got a little bit carried away. It got a little bit silly in our score predictions chat this morning. I'll let you all in behind the curtain on that one. And it culminated with Adam making his prediction that Sheffield United would win this game 10-0. We would catch up all of the goal difference that we've fallen behind them, and it would really pile the pressure on that just a draw would see United leapfrog Burnley. But given that they've only conceded 13 all season, it seems massively unlikely that United will be able to get the 10-0 victory that they need to make that a reality. Fortunately, we did get brought back down to earth, and the boss himself, in good Nick, he brought us back down to earth in style. He predicted a 2-0 victory for Burnley. Jono agreed with Nick. He also thinks it'll be 2-0 to Burnley. Well, Ewan went even further than that, and he thinks Burnley sign it off in style, beating Sheffield United 3-0 at Turf Moor. Now, for me, what do I think? Well, I've made my thoughts clear. I'm pretty confident that Sheffield United do end in the playoffs this season, regardless of what happens in this game on Monday. However, I don't think we'll be watching Burnley's promotion party. I don't think they're going to rubber stamp this one in front of us on Monday. I think we will delay them ever so slightly, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Who knows? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you like what you've heard? Do you hate it? What do you think the score is going to be for this game? Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this crazy season that United are having at the moment. And let's all band together to make sure that we've got that positive feeling and that we're all kicking forwards. Because whatever happens between now and May, United are going to need us to be behind them every single step of the way. Thank you again for watching or for listening. Up the Blades.